This is the Sunday Night League, and we are here for round number 4 of Season 3 of Formula X at Dragon Trail Seaside. On the grid, we can see that Pat is on pole position for Aston Martin. In second place is GT Racer in his Red Bull. Third is Daz for McLaren. Fourth is Jacques Jaja for Williams. Fifth is Cthulhu, defending champion, in his Red Bull. Sixth is Noxie in the Aston Martin. Seventh is SNL Jam in the Alpine. Eighth is Supra in the Ferrari. Ninth, making another guest appearance, is Guesty. This time he is driving for Mercedes in place of Alexis Maximus. In 10th place we have Paleshi racing for Ferrari. In 11th place we have Digital Blasphemy, who won at round 2 at Spa. Then we have CSL Wolfbane in 12th, who won last time out at Monza for McLaren. And in 13th place we have Matt Psycho racing for Williams, winner of the opening round and championship leader. Talking of the championship, let's have a look at it very quickly. So at the top, joint first place is Matt Psycho and CSL Wolfbane with 26 points. Digital Blasphemy has 25. Alexis Maximus, who is not here, has 22. Cthulhu, defending champion, has 22. SNL Jam has 20. Supra has 20. Paleshi has 18. Guesty has 18. Noxie has 15. Jacques Jaja has 12. Daz has got 12. Daz has got 10. Pat has got 6. GT Racer has got 6. Jim has got 3. Digweed has got 2. And Dawes has got 0. Big news for Alpine. They have a new driver in GT87 Cinemod, who will be making his debut next week at Le Mans. But this week we are at Dragon Trail Seaside with the Chicane of Death. Now, quickly going through the team's championships, in first place is Mercedes with 40 points. Then Ferrari with 38. Williams have got 36. McLaren have 34. Red Bull have got 26. Alpine have 20. And Aston Martin also have 20. So we operate a drop score system in Formula X. Welcome if it's your first time viewing us. Now, these are the Red Bull Standard X 2014 cars. All of them are dressed in Formula 1 liveries of famous teams from around the past and the current seasons. And we shall very quickly get ourselves into this race. So we're doing 39 laps of Dragon Trail Seaside. We operate a tyre war, so I'll quickly tell you about that as well, because Bridgestone this time round have the super softs and the hards, and the Michelin runners have got the super softs and the mediums. So Bridgestone runners are Alpine, Ferrari, McLaren and Red Bull, and the Michelin runners are Aston Martin, Williams and Mercedes. But as you can see, Pat is on the grid, ready to go. So let's get this started. So Pat on pole position. Can't see the lights on any of the views, so we're just going to have to rely on the reactions of Pat. Lights are red and they're out, and Pat gets a great start. The GT Racer looks great, and so does Daz. But Pat leads going into turn 1. Fast right-hander. This is where the action will happen though. Turn 2 is very tight. They all get through cleanly. Yes. Bit of a kerfuffle with Noxie, who's got Super on his inside now. This right-hander, very quick, flat out in these cars. SNL Jam in 9th, losing a couple of positions on the hard tyres as well as Supra. So Noxie on the Super Softs in his Aston Martin should be able to pull away from the pack towards the back, but back at the front is his teammate Pat. But as we can see, GT Racer defending, and in fact Daz is chasing Cthulhu. Cthulhu has actually got past Daz. So Cthulhu has got past Daz. Coming down the back section through the chicanes. So the chicane of death. Oh, GT Racer all over the track. And Pat leads them through lap 1. So Pat leads. Second is GT Racer. Third is Daz around the outside of Cthulhu. Taking that inside line into turn 2. Cthulhu, defending champion, all over the back of Daz. Paleshi in 5th. Bit of a gap then. Oh, we have got chaos at the back here. So we've got Jack Shajar, Noxie, Supra, Digital Blasphemy, Wolfbane. Oh, and Matt Psycho is slowing. It's letting SNL Jam past. Let's have a look what happened here. So 11th place is Matt Psycho. Goes up the inside of Supra. Very clean move. Then up ahead. Oh, just hits the side of SNL Jam, who goes off. Very nice to see though that Matt Psycho waits for SNL Jam. Not the best start for Alpine. One car down, and now down in 12th. But at the front we have got Pat and GT Racer fighting for the lead. Coming down this hill. This is where you can cut up the inside if you get a good exit, but GT Racer actually struggling to get the power down as quickly as Pat as they come through the chicanes. These are incredibly fast. No lifting in these cars. 170 miles an hour on the exit, and Daz in his McLaren is stalking them, looking, and GT Racer goes for a move up the inside of the final turn, and they go 3 wide. Here comes Daz down the middle. Can Daz take the lead going into the 3rd lap? Yes, he can. Only just, but he's got the inside line going into turn 1. Pat has to defend from GT Racer. He does so. Keeps in 2nd place. 3rd now is GT Racer. Pat runs wide. And this is allowing Cthulhu to have a look at his teammate. His teammate is having a look at Pat though. No, can't get past. Oh, GT Racer runs wide, so Cthulhu has a run on his teammate. But this section here, it's incredibly difficult to overtake in any car, let alone these. Let's have a quick look. Paleshi is in 5th place. Then we've got Guesty. It looks a bit strange seeing him in a Mercedes. He's always raced for Aston Martin in Formula X, so this is his first appearance for Mercedes. Then we've got Wolfbane on the hard tyre, so he's in 7th place. In a strong position. Supra in 8th. Noxie defending against Jacques Jajar in 9th. 10th is Jacques Jajar, who's got Digital up his inside, who does a very nice move into the chicanes. And then we've got SNL Jam and Matt Psycho at the back following their incident at the beginning of the 2nd lap. So Daz has pulled away from GT Racer. He's got a nice lead. He's doing what he did at Monza, pulling away, showing them a clean pair of heels. And GT Racer has got Pat disposed of, and Cthulhu, oh, just enough room between Cthulhu and Pat. Cthulhu gets in past Pat, but again, this is the sweeping section. Can Cthulhu get past? He does. He gets past in the S's, but now he'll have to defend against Pat going downhill into this right-hander. This is very tight and slow for these cars. 3rd gear though. Pat on the outside, looking, stalking. Paleshi in 5th place. He's got Guesty behind him as they fly through the death chicane. And I think Cthulhu is still defending against Pat. Pat goes up the inside. Can Pat get a good exit? And he forces the defending champion wide. Pat, oh, he's just on that inside. He's got the better line, though, of the two. Cthulhu squeezes Pat. Oh! Pat dives at the inside, though. Pat is still there. Great fight between these two. Great respect shown by them. And Cthulhu now is in 3rd place. So let's have a look. 7th place is Wolfbane in his McLaren. Winner last time out, a 1:19.5 on his last lap. Let's have a look. Digital Blasphemy, 1:19.7 on the medium tyres, defending against Supra, who's in the Ferrari, getting a bit of a wiggle on. We saw that at Monza. He wasn't afraid to get a wiggle on. He's got those hard tyres, though, which will be a disadvantage for the Ferrari right now. The hard tyres in these cars, they will last forever, but they do not provide much grip at all. And Bridgestone, actually, this season, you get 3 sets of hard tyres, and Bridgestone have used all 3 sets for the season in the first 4 races, so they will not have them for the rest of the season. Whilst I believe Michelin still have got 2 sets of hard tyres to use this season, so we'll see this championship swing with the tyres. Matt Psycho has got himself up into 11th place. Just ahead, and there's a yellow flag. Somebody has spun. I think it was Digital Blasphemy. Let's just have a look. Yes, it was. Let's just see what happened to Digital. Coming through the final corner. Goes too wide, hits the gravel and spins. And Supra does amazingly well to avoid him. So down in 13th place is SNL Jam, who then gets past Digital. Sets his fastest lap of the race on those hard tyres of 1:20.6. Let's have it compared to the leader, though, 1:18.4. So 2.2 seconds off the pace on those hard tyres. Daz on the Super Softs, leading this race from GT Racer. They've got a nice gap, actually, to Cthulhu, who had been fighting with Pat. Pat is in 4th. He's got Guesty now in 5th behind him. Paleshi in 6th. And 7th, Wolfbane. There are a few gaps developing now in this pack. 8th place is Supra. 9th is Noxie, but Noxie's under attack from Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho on the inside. That's Matt Psycho into 9th. And a yellow flag waving through the chicanes. Has somebody gone off? They have. Was it Guesty? I think it was Guesty. Let's just have a look and see what happens to Guesty. We will see how tricky the... Oh, he just hits the wall on the inside and spins it round. Paleshi. Whoa. Paleshi just avoiding him. Wolfbane looking and sliding the car. Damage at the front and rear for Guesty. And it's not what he needs. Matt Psycho passes Guesty. Guesty tucks in, but I think Noxie's going to get him into the final corner. So Guesty's damage is still there as he defends now against Jacques Jajar. And Wolfbane is in the pits. Wolfbane is in the pits for McLaren. He has done 5 laps on those hard tyres. He is getting rid of them. We saw this at Monza. 5 laps on the hards and then go. Change strategy. Nobody else is doing it, though. We saw at Monza this biting Alpine with their 1 stop coming in when nobody else came in. But Daz still leads. So again, we've got a McLaren sandwich of the pack. Daz in the lead. Wolfbane is in 13th place. GT Racer is 3rd. Oh, Cthulhu running very wide on the exit of that corner, kicking up some dust. Then we've got Pat in 4th. In 5th, we've got Paleshi. And 6th place is Supra, but Matt Psycho is all over the back of him. Through the chicane. Very neat and tidy. Matt Psycho gets a better overspeed though. He's on the attack again. Looking on the inside. Final turn. That is a fantastic move by the championship leader, Matt Psycho. He's got that Ferrari dispatched. Noxie is in 8th place. Guesty, following his spin, is still in 9th. In 10th is SNL Jam, fighting his way back up the field. In 11th, after his spin, is Digital Blasphemy. He's overtaken Jack Jajar. And in 13th place is Wolfbane, who did his pit stop, so he's now on the super soft tyres. He's got just under a full tank of fuel, so probably filled it up to do a full attack with his McLaren. Let's see what his teammate Daz does. Daz is setting very consistent times. Very consistent. 18.2s, 18.4, 18.2, 18.2. Within 0.2 of a second for the past 4 laps. So Daz coming out the corner. Does he pit on lap 8 of 39? No, he does not. Then running a little bit wide, we've got GT Racer. He has the fastest lap of the race on an 18.145 set on lap number 4. Cthulhu, his teammate, not closing actually. There's quite a gap between the two. Pat is in 4th, a gap between him and Cthulhu. 5th place is Paleshi, and a huge gap then to Matt Psycho, who's in 6th. This is where the big fights were happening early on in the race, and it really has damaged them in terms of track position. Super is in 7th. Oh, and in the background we've got Guesty having another spin. Guesty not liking that Mercedes as much as he likes the Aston Martin. And then we've got SNL Jam fighting Digital Blasphemy, coming through the S's. Sparks being kicked up by these cars. They do spark a lot. They do look cool. SNL Jam on those hard tyres. Can he do anything about Digital Blasphemy behind him? Digital Blasphemy goes for an outside look. Jam shows him the outside line as they go into the chicane. These cars just make the chicane look so easy. Let's have a quick look at the top of the field. We've got Daz still there. So Daz is still there. Digital Blasphemy is still behind Jam. And then we've got Jack Jajar, 11th. Wolfbane is now ahead of Guesty for Guesty's 2nd spin of this race. Guesty's not having a fantastic time of it right now. Has got the speed. His times are very competitive, a 1:33.5. Just about 15 seconds. If we look at Daz, super consistent Daz, he's now set the fastest lap of the race in 1:18.1 on lap number 8, but he's 8 tenths down on that time, so he's looking probably at an early 1:19. This is the first time since lap number 2 he's been down that type of time. Here's lap 10. Will he be coming in this lap? His fuel's looking good, the tyres are looking fine. I would say he goes around again for one more lap and then pits on lap 11. Does a time of 1:18.9. It's a great final sector there by Daz. GT Racer setting up 18.8, so the gap is pretty much the same. Cthulhu, a little bit slower. Paleshi in 4th place, must have got Pat. Let's just check to see if he got past Pat. He got past Pat a little bit beforehand. So he comes into the pits, gets rid of those hard tyres. So great positioning really for Paleshi. 4th place on the hards after doing 10 laps on them. So Paleshi is in. His teammate Supra, also on the hards, decides to do another lap. He's got a lot more fuel than Paleshi. Sets his fastest lap of the race. Noxie is in 7th place. A little bit of a lock-up from Supra, but everything is fine for the Ferrari driver. We've got Digital Blasphemy, who's got past SNL Jam. on his medium tyres. A lot more fuel than Jam. So Digital looking strong with that amount of fuel. Then we've got Jacques Jajar in 10th. 11th place is Wolfbane, who's pitted. Guesty in 12th. And then Paleshi, who's just made his stop. Full tank of fuel, super soft tyres, as Daz, the race leader, comes into the pits. GT Racer continues. He's going to do another lap in his Red Bull. And so is his teammate Cthulhu. Cthulhu's got a quarter of a tank nearly of fuel. He's going to go a lot longer than his teammate, who will be in this lap looking at his fuel load. Let's have a look at the tyres between the two Red Bulls. Pretty similar. So Cthulhu, big gap though to his teammate. Daz has got onto the hard tyres. Third place is Pat still. Quite a nice chunk of fuel still left in that car as well, who's got Matt Psycho all over the back of him. So Matt Psycho, despite that incident on the second lap, has got himself into 4th, challenging for 3rd. Going through the S's now. This is where you line yourself up on this track. You line yourself up through the S's, try and follow as much speed as you can carry through these corners, and then try and dive up the inside. Will Matt be able to do it? He's on the inside line but can't brake as late as Pat, but Pat runs wide. Pat runs wide but has still got the line going into the chicanes. So attacking the chicanes, really pushing. GT Racer is in the pits as we expected, but Pat is defending against his teammate Matt Psycho. Surprisingly, Cthulhu is also in the pits, so he must be short fueling. Yes, comparing the fuel, 10% compared to 0% by GT Racer. Pat comes in, he's got 12. So Matt Psycho comes into the lead. So he has got the medium tyres on. He will be pitting at the end of this lap. Daz comes into 2nd place. He's got Supra, who still has not stopped, behind him. Supra going long again in that Ferrari. Noxy also going long. He's got Digital Blasphemy right behind him. Has Digital Blasphemy pitted? No, he has not. So Digital Blasphemy has not pitted. And SNL Jam is also there in 6th. None of these drivers have pitted. SNL Jam will be pitting this lap, but Digital Blasphemy can go another lap or so. Looking at the amount of fuel he has, those medium tyres are working. He's attacking Noxy, who's on the super softs. Noxy not defending the inside. Digital Blasphemy overtakes, brakes later, locks up slightly. Noxy loses the position. Digital Blasphemy is up into 4th place now. Where on track is this in real terms though? Because obviously these guys have not pitted, whilst in 7th place is Wolfbane. Wolfbane is very close to them. He has pitted, but he is ahead, crucially, of GT Racer, who was up there. Cthulhu is behind his teammate, and Matt Psycho is in the pits, and so has Supra, and everybody is coming into the pits now of that pack. So Digital Blasphemy has better fuel, 13% left, but Daz leads. Noxy goes another lap in his Aston Martin. He's got plenty of fuel. He'll probably pit at the end of this lap. I don't think there'll be enough there to get to 15 laps, but if he can get to 15 laps, that will be fantastic driving from Noxy. Wolfbane is in 3rd, very close behind Noxy. Then we have got GT Racer in 4th, Cthulhu in 5th. In 6th, we've got Paleshi. 7th, after his pit stop, is Matt Psycho. 8th is Pat, after his pit stop. 9th is then Supra after his. 10th is Digital Blasphemy. 11th is Jacques Jajar, who pitted on lap 11. SNL Jam is in 12th after his stop, and 13th is Guesty after his stop. So everybody has made a stop apart from Noxy, who is in 2nd place, but his fuel is now flashing. But he's going round again. So he's doing 15 laps on a tank of fuel. Fantastic driving by Noxie, conserving his fuel. He's doing 120s as opposed to the 118s we've seen by the McLarens. The McLarens are definitely running a different strategy. The hard's obviously on Daz. And then Wolfbane, who is all over the back of Noxie. Here we have a fight for second place on the road and second place overall in the race. Can Wolfbane get past Noxie? He's losing time to his teammate whilst he is behind Noxie. Little bit of a wiggle, having a look through the S's. You won't get past there, Wolfbane, surely. Looking down into the right-hander. No, he cannot do anything, but whilst they're fighting, GT Racer is closing the gap. GT Racer... Oh, Wolfbane, I thought was going to have a go around the outside of the chicane. He's all over the back of Noxie. He's going for it. Going up the inside. If I were Noxie, I would just let Wolfbane have this. He does. Because Noxie will be pitting at this lap. He doesn't want to slow himself down. He's on a different strategy to everybody around him. So this is the great thing about Formula X. Different strategies, different tyres. Everybody doing slightly different things with their cars that are all slightly different. They've all got slightly different power to weight ratios. Team principals can spend tokens on development and make their cars quicker in certain areas. So the team principals will be spending tokens at the end of this round for round number 5, which is at Le Mans. Conveniently, as it's Le Mans next weekend. So Daz leading the race. Currently unopposed, really, in first. Leading from the front. Trying to make amends for Monza last week, where he looked incredibly strong, but then we saw... Bit of a spoiler for last week if you haven't seen it. It is on our YouTube channel. He had a spin into the chicane on the hard tyres. No such bad luck this week though for Daz. He's got those hard tyres on and is leading quite comfortably from his teammate. So let's have a look. He's got about a 7-second lead to his teammate. Wolfbane won last week. He is in second place right now, having a strong campaign. He had second at Spa as well. So really looking strong this season, Wolfbane. GT Racer is third though, and closing the gap, I think, to Wolfbane. Fourth is Cthulhu. Is kind of just stuck in fourth. He can't get closer to his teammate. Hasn't got Paleshi very close behind him either. Paleshi in fifth place. Had a bit of a nightmare at Monza. But looking strong here. Fifth place for the Ferrari driver on the Super Softs now. Setting 118s. And we've got Matt Psycho setting slightly quicker times. 118s as well. Fighting his Williams in sixth place right now. Through the chicanes. This is very fast as this section. Then you go downhill and it's very easy to outbrake yourself coming into this corner, using all the curb on the entrance just to widen the entrance. See the difference between him and Pat there as Daz comes into the pits to get rid of his hards. So he will be on the supers, and Wolfbane is in as well. So these McLarens are running the same strategy now. They just put their hards and their super softs in a different order. GT Racer takes the lead for Red Bull. Jokas will be happy to see this. His Red Bulls are first and second. Again, we've seen this before. A very quick. Jokas is a great team principal with the development tree, finding the best ways of getting through. That's why they have the defending champion Cthulhu and our defending team champions as well from Season 2. Paleshi in third place, setting consistent lap times in those 118s. Matt Psycho matching him as well in the 118s. These are probably the times, the 118s for these drivers. Then we've got Pat also in the 118s. See if we can do a 118 count. Daz was on the hards, so 119s are quick on the hards. They're about a second off the pace of the supers. There's a spin ahead though. A spin ahead. I think that was Pat. Sorry, Pat. Just have a look and see what happened here. Did he run wide onto the curbs through this fast section? He did. He just got onto the gravel, and oh, it just spun him round as he got back on track. Unfortunate for Pat. Wolfbane then overtakes him as well. And then we've got Jacques Jajar and we've got Jam all over the back. So we were checking the 18s. There's an 18.8. There's a 19.6 by Jacques. Wolfbane just pitted, but he was doing 18s before his stop. So Jacques Jajar has got past, and so has Jam from Pat. So Pat must have made a small error coming out of the chicane. We won't look at it, Pat, that's okay. We've got Noxie in 11th, so Aston Martin 10th and 11th now. It was looking very strong for them. But as we said before, Noxie is getting 15 laps out of his fuel. The rest are about 11, 12 or 13 laps out of their fuel. So Noxie could come into play later into this race. Guesty is 12th. And 13th is Supra. So Supra will be wondering how this has happened. Let's just have a look at the lap times. See if we can... There's a slow lap there, 1:38.3. And I don't think that was a pit stop. So that is where the time has been lost by Supra. But GT Racer leads this race for Red Bull. He's got a comfortable lead from his teammate. Let's just check. It's about 3-4 seconds between GT Racer and Cthulhu. Then Paleshi a bit further behind. Matt Psycho is in 4th, setting 1:18s. He just set his fastest lap of the race, and he's done it again, a 1:18.0. And then we've got Daz in 5th place. He's now pitted twice, as the cars around him have only pitted once. Got Digital Blasphemy in 6th place, and he is in a McLaren sandwich because Wolfbane is behind him, just setting the fastest lap of the race, a 1:18.011. In 8th place is Jam, having got past Jacques Jajar. In the Alpine. Alpine not having a particularly good past few races. There was that dramatic incident at Spa on the last lap, fighting for 3rd with Supra. But then Monza was not particularly good for Alpine. A 5th place there. And Jacques Jajar in 9th. 10th place is Noxie. He has got past his teammate Pat, so the two Aston Martins are together on the circuit, attacking those chicanes really confidently. Guesty is in 12th, guesting for Alexis Maximus, who cannot make it this week due to work commitments. Unfortunately, sometimes work commitments do get in the way of the fun, but fortunately we run a drop score system, so Alexis will not lose out, having missed this race. And Supra, surprisingly, still last. Now that must be because of the mistake that we did not see on lap 16. His pace is there. Everybody's pace seems to be in the 18s. There are a few tenths separating these cars. They're so closely matched. We saw it at Monza where the cars were forming little queues. We've seen it everywhere, but here, interestingly enough, we're seeing quite a little, about 3-second gaps between each car. Paleshi is coming into the pits this lap, so Paleshi's doing 10 lap and 11 lap runs in that Ferrari. In he comes, getting rid of the Super Softs. Brand new set of Super Softs, most likely. His Brawn GP team colours for Ferrari. Interesting. as he has a Jensen button helmet as well. 6th place. Oh! Wolfbane has just got past Digital. So let's have a look at the exit. Digital runs wide on the exit, and Wolfbane gets himself into 5th place now. So he's got his teammate Daz just ahead of him. Are these two fighting for the victory with these Red Bulls? I would say yes. I think it's a team battle now. The Red Bulls against the McLarens, and Matt Psycho quietly going about his business. That sounds a bit dirty. In 3rd place. We won't want us to see his business on TV. Or on YouTube. I'm sure there are specialist websites for that. So Matt Psycho is in 3rd place, quietly going about his business. I'm obsessed with Matt Psycho's business. Let's move on. Digital is in 6th place. He's just behind Wolfbane. Then a bit of a gap to the Alpine of Jam. And a big battle here. We've got Pat, we've got Noxie, and we've got Guesty all fighting. So the Aston Martins are flying in formation, defending against Guesty in that Mercedes. Through the chicane, Pat gets a better exit. He's looking at his teammate, but he's unsure what to do, really. Doesn't want to pass Noxie, and he's got Guesty right behind him, so got to be careful what he does here. He'll be in 2 minds of what to do. So Guesty all over the back of Pat. Will he be having a look going into turn 1? He's got a good run. Turn 2 though is very difficult to overtake. Guesty having a look at the inside. No, he can't overtake. These Formula X cars have very small braking distances, and it makes overtaking on track very tricky. And we've lost a driver. We've lost somebody. We've lost Paleshi. Paleshi has gone. What a shame for Ferrari. They've lost one of their cars. GT Racer still leads though. He and Cthulhu have a big gap to Matt Psycho. It's a huge gap. They're about 18 seconds ahead. GT Racer, it's not enough for a pit stop, but it is a big lead. So GT Racer looking very strong. Strongest he's looked this season. Coming back, driving for Red Bull. Feels more at home, I think, in the Red Bull than the McLaren. Drives a Red Bull car in the Porsches. Drove it there last season and then moved to a Martini, and then as soon as the Red Bull deal at Formula X got confirmed, back in the Red Bull sponsored car. So GT Racer coming round the last corner. Interestingly enough, Cthulhu also has used his fuel the same rate as his teammate. We saw last time round that Cthulhu actually had more fuel, so they both have 1% left. Perfect formation by the Red Bulls. Matt Psycho now will take the lead. He will probably pit in the next lap or two. Looking at his fuel, probably in 2 laps. Sets his fastest lap of the race of 1:17.8. So what are those McLarens doing? I'm assuming those McLarens 1:17.9 by Daz. Goes even quicker, 1:17.8. What has Wolfbane done? Wolfbane has done us 1:17.5 in his McLaren. The speed is there in those McLarens, so they're going hard and fast. And Cthulhu is on the hard tyres. Has his teammate done the same? No, GT Racer has actually put himself on the Supers. So Cthulhu, who is a fan of using the Supers, using the hards, at the end of the stint has actually put them on. Could he make it to the end of the race on a full tank of fuel? It's touch and go. They'd have to fuel save. So SNL Jam is in 6th place, but that is a false position because he has not stopped yet. The cars around him have started stopping. So Matt Psycho comes round. Will he do another lap? Yes, he does, as the red light of his fuel starts flashing just as he comes out the final corner. So he has got 1 lap of fuel. He'll be in on lap 26, so he's perfectly timed this 13 lap stints to get to lap 39. Daz, he will have to stop again, and so will Wolfbane. So has Matt Psycho pulled off an amazing strategy to win this race? Digital Blasphemy in 4th, but he will have to stop. Then we've got GT Racer after his stop, but he's not used the hard tyres. He has to stop again. Then we've got SNL Jam. He's got less than the lap's worth of fuel. Be coming in this lap, so another 13 lap stint by the Alpine team. Cthulhu on the hard tyres. Full tank of fuel. Will he be going to the end of the race? He possibly could. Guesty barely has anything left in that tank. He's still got half a lap to go. It's on the medium tyres. Getting rid of the mediums. Matt Psycho is in the pits. So that means Daz and Wolfbane in their McLarens will go past. Up into the lead. A 1-2 then for the McLarens. Daz is the team principal at McLaren, so he will be incredibly happy. But obviously Wolfbane is second in the championship as it stands. So will there be team orders this early on in the season between the two McLarens? GT Racer gets himself into 3rd. As we see behind, a lot of pit stops are now happening. Cthulhu is 5th. Noxie is in 5th, sorry. 6th is Matt Psycho coming out of the pit, so he's behind Noxie. Noxie's fuel, he's got a quarter of a tank left, so he's going to be another 3 laps, I would have said, another 4 laps, coming in on lap 30, if we're to believe what his strategy is. 7th is Blasphemy after his stop. 8th is Jam after his stop. 9th is Jacques Jaja, who has got half a tank of fuel. So he came in on lap 21. 10th is Guesty after his stop. It's just come in. Supra has fought himself back into 11th, and 12th place is Pat. And those McLarens incredibly close now. Wolfbane all over the back of his teammate. Pushing. Oh, he's spun! Wolfbane has spun! I said he was pushing hard. Let's just have a look on board with Wolfbane going through the 2nd and 3rd chicane. Hits a little bit wide, out wide on the curb, and it just goes on him. He will be kicking himself. GT Racer, though, isn't close enough to capitalise. So, Wolfbane, we saw a 17.5 and another 17.5. And this lap, he's pitting, he's lost 5.5 seconds on his teammate, Daz, who now will be looking and wondering, can I get this victory? It's all looking good. We will have 10 laps to go as he pits. So the McLaren looking very strong. 1st and 2nd for McLaren, 3rd and 4th for Red Bull, 5th for Williams, 6th for Aston Martin, 7th for Mercedes, and 8th for Alpine. So the top 4 positions covered by 2 teams. Daz comes into the pits. Wolfbane will be coming in as well. GT Racer, though, will not be coming in this lap. So GT Racer will take the lead. And he's got Cthulhu quite a gap between the two of them now. Oop. There we go. So, as GT Racer is here. We'll just see what the gap is between him and his teammates. About 13 seconds between Cthulhu and GT Racer. Matt Psycho comes up into third place now. He's got the McLarens behind him. He's jumped the McLarens again. Noxie finds himself in fourth. Noxie will be enjoying this. He's got another couple of laps, I would have said, in that fuel tank. So he's in fourth. He's looking in a very strong position now for Aston Martin. Fifth then is Daz. Sixth is Wolfbane. He'll be kicking himself. Mistake. Just at this section. Has lost him a chance maybe of beating his teammate. Digital Blasphemy is behind Wolfbane in the Mercedes. Eighth is then Jam for Alpine. Ninth is Guesty in 18.1 on his last lap, and he's just ahead of Jaja in the other Williams. Supra in 11th place. Bit of a gap. Yes, a bit of a gap between him and Jaja. And 12th is Pat. So Pat is still setting consistent times. He's on the medium tyre now as well, so the medium tyre probably to the end of the race for Pat. GT Racer looking strong. He's got Cthulhu. Quite a gap between him and Cthulhu. Matt Psycho in the background of the shot. In his Williams. There he is. Coming out turn 3. Cthulhu. Looking at the man that wants to take his championship away. Current championship leader, Matt Psycho. Pushing Cthulhu. Cthulhu is on the hard tyres. He's a sitting duck for Matt Psycho, I think. Look at the times, 1:20.7 and 18.7. So 2 seconds the gap. Sorry, 20.0, so not 2 seconds. 1.3 second gap between the two cars. As I say, catching in Formula X is one thing. Overtaking on track is very tricky. The only place you can really do it is on exits of corners. Noxie will be coming in at the end of this lap. He's in 4th place, so where will this drop him down with just 9 laps to go? Daz all over the back of him, so Noxie into the pits. Daz up into 4th. Wolfbane passes as well, so he is now 5th. Digital will jump into 6th. 8th will be SNL Jam. Into 7th, so 7th place goes SNL Jam. Will Guesty get past Noxie? Looks like he has, as he sets his fastest lap of the race. And now Noxie leaves the pits on the medium tyres and has just been overtaken by Jacques Jaja in the Williams. So Noxie is in 10th. 11th is Supra, who can see Noxie. So Aston Martin all of a sudden are in 10th and 12th after, and Matt Psycho has got past Cthulhu. We have to go back and see what happened here. Well, it happened a long time ago, actually. Apologies. So Cthulhu, as I say, a sitting duck, and Matt Psycho just passes him with ease. I wonder if Cthulhu's thinking, I can't stay on these tyres. I'm falling backwards. I've got Daz approaching me. But do you pit? I don't think you do if you're Cthulhu. You have to keep going, because the rest of the field is so tightly packed. If you pit now, as Noxie found, you drop down to about 10th place. Wolfbane on the pace. Digital following, setting his personal best of an 18.0 on the last lap. SNL Jam 18.5s, about half a second off the pace of Digital. 17.7 by Guesty. That is on pace with the fastest of this race. The pace was there. It's just a couple of mistakes early on. Getting used to that Mercedes. running hard. Jack Jashar in 9th. 10th place now is Noxie, who's got Super right behind him. And Pat is in 12th with 130.7, so a mistake on that lap as well. Few small errors by Pat, but they will start to iron out as he gets used to driving these cars on a more consistent basis. GT Racer leading the pack, and he's got a huge lead to Matt Psycho. Let's see, it's about 14 seconds, no, 16 seconds I would say, between him and Matt Psycho. So a pit stop just for tyres right at the end by GT Racer. Where would that put him? Put him in the fight. Daz has just got past Cthulhu. It's all over the back of the defending champion in the Red Bull. Daz looks at the inside. Cthulhu just leaving enough room, and Daz keeping his car and saying, no, I'm overtaking. Great move into the chicane. Cthulhu does flash, not particularly happy with that from Daz. Maybe felt that was overly aggressive by Daz. It's Wolfbane in 5th place. The frustration coming out of Cthulhu there. Digital Blasphemy is in 6th. Sets his fastest lap of the race, a 17.7. Flying now is Digital Blasphemy. And 18.4 is all that the Alpine can do in response. So losing time still to Digital Blasphemy. Guesty in 18.2. Jack Shajar into the pits, having to stop again. So he's got to do 7 laps now at the end of this race. Hasn't calculated the fuel particularly well this race, unfortunately, for Jaja. So loses positions. Whilst GT Racer, he's leading. About to lap Jaja. No, Jaja comes out of the pits. So that's Psycho 2nd place. He's got a fast moving Daz right behind him though. Daz is setting consistent 118s, 117s as well. Whilst Matt is in 118s. Having to be a bit more careful maybe. 17.7 by Daz on that 33. So Cthulhu there, 119.7. So he's setting fast times on those hard tyres. It is possible. However, it's difficult when you've got cars setting 17.5s around you. Wolfbane there in the other McLaren, stalking the current champion, setting purple sectors in Sector 1. Through the fast S's. At the back of the circuit, coming up the hill, and then back down it for the tight right-hander before the chicanes. It's closing in. You can see the difference between the super softs and the hards. Just under braking. Wolfbane is going to have this position very quickly from Cthulhu. Through the chicanes, so much more speed from the McLaren. It's going to have a look into the final corner. Up the inside. Brilliant move by Wolfbane. Up into 4th place now. Cthulhu falling down the order on those hard tyres. Where is Digital Blasphemy? Digital Blasphemy coming out of the final corner. 5 laps to go. Probably will catch Cthulhu. SNL Jam setting a 118.2, so finding a bit of pace now. And Digital Blasphemy, in fact, has set a 123.7, so has had a bit of a scruffy lap. So Wood is probably behind. Cthulhu's really fighting those hard tyres now. He's not happy on them at all. Guesty in 8th place. not particularly close to Jam. Supra in 9th. He's got Noxie just behind him in 10th. Jacques Jajar getting the blue flags now, as GT Racer is behind him. And Pat getting the blue flags as well, as Matt Psycho is behind him. So, 1 lap of fuel left for GT Racer. He will be coming in this lap. Does he have a big enough gap between himself and Matt Psycho? I don't think he does. Don't think he does. Daz is in 3rd. He's got Matt Psycho right in front of him. I wonder if he knows that this is for a potential win. Wolfbane just behind his teammate. Not quite close enough, I don't think, to make a move or make a challenge, but Daz setting purple times. So 1:17.597, 1:17.6, 1:17.7s as well in there. Matt just in the 18s. So Daz using the advantage of lighter fuel, fresher tyres as well. Still purples. He's going to catch Matt Psycho. GT Racer will be coming into the pits though. The race leader, 3 laps to go into the pits. He will be putting the hard tyres on as well, so we will see where this brings him out. This is a completely different strategy to anybody else on the grid. Matt Psycho takes the lead. He's got Daz right behind him, who sets the fastest lap over 1:17.3. Sets the fastest lap. Wolfbane overtaking Pat as they come down the home straight. 4th place is Cthulhu. Will Cthulhu get past his teammate? He does. As GT Racer comes out now on the hard tyres in 5th place. 6th place is Digital Blasphemy on the super soft tyres. It's going to have an advantage. Then we've got Jam in 7th place, an 18.4 on the last lap. Guesty sets a 17.571. He's on fastest lap territory pace. Supra is in the 19.2s. Noxie 19.5 on his mediums. The mediums also for Jacques Jajar. And Pat unfortunately spun again. Oh, Pat, it's just gone wrong in the last few laps. Strong start to the race, but Matt Psycho leading the race. Daz has fallen back a little bit. Just set the fastest lap, but actually he's given Matt Psycho a little bit of breathing room. Matt Psycho leads this race, 2 laps to go. Has he timed it to perfection? Daz is in 2nd. 3rd is Wolfbane. 4th is Cthulhu. 5th is GT Racer, and he's got Digital Blasphemy all over the back of him. What can Digital Blasphemy do? Going on the outside. Oh. Okay. So Digital Blasphemy goes wide, and now he's under attack from Jam. SNL Jam looking to get past the Mercedes. So the Mercedes gone from attacking 5th position, now vulnerable to losing 6th. Here comes SNL Jam. He's got a Mercedes sandwich. Oh! So he's kicking a lot of curb, kicking up the dust. What can Jam do? Going down into the tight right-hander. Be a brave move on the right-hand. Digital brakes. Can't do anything there. Guesty, though, 8th place. Kicking up the dust. They're both now flashing with fuel, I think. Yes. There's SNL Jam looking very close. Goes into the final corner and gets the inside line. Can he hold it? Yes, he can. So they come into the final lap. He's got Digital fighting behind him. Mercedes. And all of a sudden, Digital has fallen back. Oops. Let's just go back a second. So Digital all over the back of Jam. Goes deep into the corner. He's got Guesty all behind him. Guesty gets past. Guesty's going to have a go. But leading the race. Timing his run to perfection. He's the championship leader. He's going to add a second win possibly. But Daz is right behind him. Can Daz catch Matt Psycho up going into the final corner though? Matt Psycho leads from Daz. There's nothing Daz can do now. Matt Psycho is going to win round 4 at Dragon Trail Seaside and take the lead in the championship. Daz, second place for McLaren. Third place, Wolfbane for McLaren. Fourth place is Cthulhu for Red Bull. Red Bull's strongest team performance this season. Cthulhu in 4th. 5th is GT Racer. 6th is Jam. 7th, waiting for his teammate who's higher in the championship. Digital Blasphemy 7th. 8th is Guesty. 9th comes Supra in the Ferrari. 10th is Noxie. 11th is Jacques Jajar. And 12th, running out of fuel at the end, is Pat. There is Pat. And 11th is Jacques Jajar. So let's pause it there and show you the results. So Matt Psycho wins at Dragon Trail. Congratulations, Matt and the Williams team. Jim will be incredibly happy to see that whilst on his hollybobs. Daz in second place for McLaren. Best result in Formula X for Daz. His first podium as well. Well done, Daz. Third place is Wolfbane in the other McLaren. An incredibly strong performance by the McLaren duo. Incredibly close lap times as well. Fourth place, defending champion Cthulhu in the Red Bull. Strong performance again by Red Bull, using the hard tyres at the end. Fifth place is GT Racer, his teammate. Sixth place, SNL Jam in the Alpine. Seventh is Digital Blasphemy in the Mercedes, who was let by his teammate Guesty on that last lap. Digital Blasphemy was having to save fuel on that last lap. Ninth place, the Ferrari of Supra. A disappointing result, I'm sure, but again the pace was incredibly tight between all the drivers in this race. 10th place, Noxie. I bet he's wondering what happened in that race. He was high up using that 15 lap strategy, and then unfortunately it all became 10th. 11th place was Jacques Jajar in the Williams, and 12th place was Pat in the Aston Martin. And news on Pileshi. Pileshi's wheel actually failed him during the race, so he was unable to finish due to that reason. So this will have a huge implication on the championship. It is the token spending as well after round 4. So round 5, the cars will all be slightly different. Round 5 is at the Circuit de la Sarthe, Le Mans. And unfortunately, I will not be there for Alpine. I will be on my hollybobs for 2 weeks. But fortunately, Guesty is making another guest appearance. So 3 cars, 3 different teams in 3 weeks for Guesty. Thank you very much for Guesty for doing that. And Circuit de la Sarthe will be incredible. The race last season, one of the best in Formula X history. An incredible battle between Noxie and Alexis Maximus, fighting for that win. On the final corner, the lead changed and Noxie took his first win in Formula X for Williams. So Noxie will be looking forward to that. So join us next week for Formula X round 5 of season 3 at the Circuit de la Sarthe. Thank you for watching. This has been the Sunday Night League.